My name is AJ Drexler, and I'm the CEO of Entrepreneurs Forever, and I can't tell you how excited we are to kick off this day with 46, I had 45, 46 small business owners that have RSVP'd to already start this program. Most of them will eventually be here today if they're not already, and we're just thrilled to have you here with us. And we're also thrilled to have all of our partners and our supporters here who care about your entrepreneurial journey. I think that's the thing that is in common in this room, is that we all care so deeply about helping small business owners and entrepreneurs to succeed. In terms of agenda, I'm going to do a little bit about our program and why it fills a critical and underserved need in the ecosystem. We're going to have a few guest speakers. And then we're going to have lunch. Following that, our small business owners are going to go into their peer-to-peer groups. So we'll move right into that. It's going to be a pretty quick transition. But first, I'd like to thank our elected official who's here in the room. So County Executive Rich Fitzgerald with Bhavni Patel, who's here with him today. We are really appreciative, and we're going to hear from the County Executive in just a minute. There are other elected officials who have been incredibly supportive to us. DeWitt Walton, Councilman DeWitt Walton, I think will still be here. He's coming. Robbie Matisik in Senator Casey's office. Senator Casey has been a huge supporter and very helpful to us. Tawanda Carlisle in Representative-elect Summer Lee's office. And Jen Lasser from the Southwest Pennsylvania Commission, not elected, but very supportive, and maybe will be here today if everybody can find a parking space. So we'll see. I especially, however, need to recognize the Henry L. Hillman Foundation. We are all here because the Hillman Foundation has made it possible for 96 small business owners to get the long-term support they need through Entrepreneurs Forever. Through their gift, the foundation recognizes the importance of helping existing small businesses to flourish, and they recognize small business as a key driver in our economy, so we are infinitely grateful to the Henry L. Hillman Foundation. They don't have somebody here today because apparently that's not their style. They want us to just do our good work and make it all happen. So we want to make sure we appreciate them. But for a minute, I want to talk about the state of small business in America and in Allegheny County. Many of you may not realize, because I didn't before I started this work, that according to the Census Bureau, 99.9% of all businesses in the United States are small businesses. 99.9%. Now, from the Census Bureau's perspective, that means they have fewer than 500 employees. And for most of us, that doesn't seem like a very small business. But the other critical piece of data that the Census Bureau reports is this. From the year 2000 to the year 2019, the number of small businesses that are non-employer firms, so sole proprietors, for example, dramatically increased in our country, both in raw numbers and in the overall percentages of businesses. So today, non-employer firms make up more than 80% of the small businesses in our country. 80%. So on the face of it, that doesn't seem like a problem. I mean, after all, the gig economy has happened during this time, right? And that's a good development. The creation of startup accelerators has happened during this time. That's a good development. So what's the problem? The problem is that since 2000, the average revenue being generated by these non-employer businesses has actually decreased to less than $50,000 a year. So 80% of the market are non-employer. The average revenue for those businesses is less than $50,000 a year. The real trauma of that, the greatest concern, is that when your revenue is less than $50,000, your owner's compensation is less than $27,000, which is below the poverty line for a family of 4. So this is not the sexy startup story that most Americans think of when they think about entrepreneurship. And it's a problem that's been aggravated by the fact that in 2021 alone, in that pandemic year, more than 5 million new businesses were started. Usually it would be 2, it had grown kind of to 3 million a year, but all in that year, it was actually 5.4. Having a majority of these businesses remain non-employer businesses with low average revenue is not a sustainable economic condition. Neither our families or our communities can flourish when the majority of our businesses are not generating enough revenue to support even their owners. Most business owners, like I think all of you in this room, start their business because they're good at and passionate about something that the market needs and desires. Yes? Yes. Making soap, making ice cream, services from plumbing to business consulting, sheet metal, spin and cycling organization. But for most of them, the thing that they did not get into business for was actually running a business. Like the hardship around the business is not what they love to do. It's learning the skills to run the business. So after the startup stage, businesses need the long-term skills and support of others, to continue to grow their business. They need to understand their value, and they need to create revenue models that enable them to support their families with higher incomes. And ultimately, they need to grow to a more sustainable place where they can hire people and they can help the whole community to thrive. So that's where our program comes in. The Entrepreneurs Forever model works because we're in it for the long haul. So all of you who thought this might have been a one-day thing, 3 years. I know you all know that. We provide each entrepreneur, once they have operated their business successfully for at least 1 year, with a curated group of 10 to 12 fellow business owners who share their entrepreneurial journey for at least 3 years, along with their facilitator and a curriculum that was developed to help them when and where they need it. The program is designed to make sure that every one of our business owners has the support they need to resolve whatever is holding them back. And after 5 years of executing the program, we know that it works. Our members report that after just the first year of participation, they are experiencing on average, a 31.7% increase in revenue, and at 3 years, a 63% increase in revenue. And even more critically, they're doubling their owner's compensation and beginning to hire staff to help them grow. So we are honored to have with us today these, what will eventually be 45 small business owners who are beginning their long-term entrepreneurial journey with us. We're going to talk more about them, obviously, as we go on today. But I would love to have you all stand and be recognized. Small business owner, stand on up. Thank you. At this point, I want to invite our guest speakers up to talk a little bit more about economic development and the challenges and opportunities facing small businesses. I know you will join me in welcoming County Executive Rich Fitzgerald to say a few words.
Well, thank you, AJ, and I want to first of all congratulate all of you for taking that step into entrepreneurism. And I come to you not just as the county executive or as elected government official, but as somebody who 40 years ago was in your seat. I decided to start my own business and become an entrepreneur, so I know the feelings that you're having, the excitement, the energy, the apprehension, all those kind of things. And I wish I would have had an organization like AJ's to be able to guide me way back when I started that. But I know that as you have the energy and you have the desire and you've got the idea to go out there and market yourself, whether your business is dealing with other businesses or other organizations, or whether you're dealing with the general population, you're going to know how to provide those services and those products that your customers will need. But there's also an awful lot of ideas and a lot of implementations that AJ and the team can provide. You know, I think about this very place that we're in right now, the Energy Innovation Center, which has been transformed over the last couple of decades, but originally was a colony trade school where mostly young men, but young men and women would learn the building trades, to be a carpenter, to be a steam fitter, to be a plumber. And many of them obviously became entrepreneurs. They may have worked for a big construction company and then they started off on their own. So we're in a place that Pittsburgh has always been known as an entrepreneurial spirit. You know, when you think about the industrial age and the things that were started and then obviously became big businesses. But as AJ said, you know, most people work and most people are in small businesses. And that was the backbone of the American economy and certainly Western Pennsylvania's economy. So working together and getting the skills and the knowledge, whether it's in marketing, whether it's in accounting, whether it's in production, whether it's in just all the things that you have to do to be in business is really, really important to what we do. I also want to thank the foundation community, certainly the Hillman Foundation. You know, we're best in Pittsburgh and in Western Pennsylvania when we come together. And corporations and foundations and people that help support these type of operations are really, really important. And when you talk about what you all want to see is you all want to see success. And when I hear numbers like after the first year, 31% increase in revenues, and after a couple of years, over 60% increase in revenues, wow. I don't think there's any organization or any business out there that can replicate those type of successes that you're having. So I think it's really important that you go out and do the things you do. The training and the knowledge that will be gained here is really, really important. We want to support you. More importantly, we want to see you be part of the growing economic vibrancy of what Pittsburgh is becoming. And the opportunities out there right now are as good or better than they've ever been in a lot of different industries that are out there. So for those of you that are part of the, I guess we call it the gig economy, the entrepreneurial economy is really the backbone of what we do here in southwestern Pennsylvania. So good luck to all of you. I know my good friend DeWitt Walton, I think he'll be here in a little bit. He's been so supportive of these type of things within county government. And I also do have to give it a shout out. I know you mentioned it, but Senator Casey has just been, with Robbie Matisek and that team, have just been so supportive of the things that the federal government has been able to deliver for us and provide some of the important resources. And, you know, obviously speaking of the federal government, that infrastructure bill, the CHIPS bill, the American Rescue Plan, I mean, there's a lot of projects that are going on over the next couple of years. And, you know, obviously a lot of the entrepreneurs here will be able to access some of the markets that will open up and some of the services and things that we need provided to improve quality of life here in southwestern Pennsylvania. So we're counting on all of you. Good luck to every one of you. AJ, congratulations on your success, and we're there to partner with you. God bless. Thank you.
So I am going to move on because the councilman's not here yet. So next, we're going to hear from Juan Jarrett, the Executive Director of Riverside Center for Innovation. Riverside Center for Innovation is an important partner in our work. And like several other partners that you'll meet in a little bit, they're matching our rising entrepreneurs with our program. So please join me in welcoming Juan.
So good morning, everybody. So welcome everybody for being here. And again, we want to definitely thank the Hillman Foundation right out of the gate, because without them, we couldn't be here celebrating this inaugural moment and this kickoff celebration of our partnerships that we have with E4Ever. E4Ever has been great. They've been in the region for a long time. And so now, with this partnership and the funding that they've been able to put together, we're all going to hold hands. All of us as key partners, as you can see up on that screen, how do we hold hands and shift this culture that's been in Pittsburgh? So a few things I do want to say as Riverside Center for Innovation, we focus on disadvantaged entrepreneurs, on how to help we get you started in business. Several of our companies, we have 2 pods here, and congratulations to all you entrepreneurs that have come through the RCI program. And now how do we collectively partner with E4Ever to get you to those $1 million marks? One of the things, when she asked everybody to stand up, if everybody took a notice, there was probably, that stood up, I saw 3 men, BIPOC and BIPOC, African American, Black. But for the rest was all Black females. There was a scathing report that came out in 2018 about Black females in Pittsburgh by the University of Pittsburgh, that all you had to do as a Black woman is to pick up and leave Pittsburgh and you would be better. We are here to stop that. We want to take that report and flip it and say now, when they look at this report in 5-6 years, Black women and Black men are a part of an economy that's going to be inclusive for all. County exec said, that's right, the county exec said, there are a lot of different infrastructure bills that are in place in this region, and RCI, I am sitting at these tables. So we need to make sure that we are a part of these new economies. One being, the region was awarded a $60 million grant from the EDA on robotics and AI. How do we make sure that we on-ramp you all into these industry sectors that we've been shut out? If the partnerships with E4Ever is going to allow us to get you into those spaces so that when they do these next reports, we are sitting at the tables along with the county exec and Councilman DeWitt Walton, who's been a big supporter of everybody in our region. And so how do we make sure that you have voices here? So with this program that we are going to put together, our goal is to get you from those small revenues you have, $30,000, but our goal is to get you to $1 million. How do we then take you from $1 million to 5, 10 million? We want to see your names on the buildings in downtown, in our communities, buying properties in our main streets so that we can shift the culture in our region and be a player. So this is the first step on being able to do that, and thanking the foundation community, all the elected officials who are all listening to us and taking this time to really roll our sleeves up and get to the end of the light. And we're here to help you get there to make sure we're able to do that. So I don't want to take up too much time because it's all about you all today. So we want to make sure that we have time that you all can do that. And again, thank you all, and looking forward to a very glorious year with you all. Thank you.
So I really appreciate, as you can tell, one is, our first go-to on excitement speakers. So we're all in. But I'd like to take a moment to thank, in addition to Juan and Riverside Innovation Center, our other partners who are here today. So if you could just either stand up or turn around or wave. Kathy Ellis and David Fair and Mark Fallick from SCORE. They're sitting right up here. Camille Bailey. I haven't seen Camille. She's not here. Okay. Andrew Cheeseborough and Jennifer Harris from the Neighborhood Community Development Fund. I know they're here. Robin Young, also from RCI, here. And there are a number of others who are part of this movement that are connecting businesses, they're up-and-coming businesses with long-term support and filling these seats at the Hillman Foundation. So I'd like to recognize, Shannon Paris is here. Actually, hey Shannon. I had you on the list that weren't here, so I apologize for that. Adam Kenny from Bridgeway Capital, Tammy Thompson from Catapult, Greater Pittsburgh, Nadelia Nunez from Ascender. So it really has been an amazing thing that the Hillman Foundation has been able to do to say, hey, can all of us work together to move everybody even further than each organization could do by themselves. So we're eternally grateful for our whole list, as Juan said, of partners that are up on the list. So, as you know, as we've discussed today, Entrepreneurs Forever fills a gap. Many of our partners are filling that very important startup gap. And we are so honored to be part of the extension of the hard work that they've been doing for many years. So thank you all. Okay, so what happens next? No, okay. So what happens next? We have box lunches set up in the back. Here's what we would love you to do in the next half hour. We'd like you to introduce yourself, grab a lunch, introduce yourself to a small business owner or someone else you haven't met in the room, which means we might have to toss up our seats a little bit. For members of the media, if you'd like to meet any of our partners or our entrepreneurs, please raise your hand, and Abby's here to help you. But before we move from your seats, I would like to do one last introduction. We have a whole bunch of our facilitators here today. Some of you are going to meet them because they're going to facilitate your group, but you might not see everybody. So if I could ask all of our facilitators to stand up so that everybody can see you. So we have a collection of facilitators here today. Again, some of them are going to be assigned to your cohort, and others just so that you know that they're facilitators. Stay standing. Staff, can you stand up and just say hello so everybody can see who you are? Okay. So now you know somebody that you don't know in this room. So pick one, get a lunch, and go connect with them. And then we'll expect everybody back here. What time is it now? I'm sorry. So 12:06. We'll give you the full 30 minutes. Everybody back here, because we want to spend as much of the time in your peer groups as we possibly can. So Katie's going to do a little bit of orientation and onboarding, and then you're going to deploy from here with your groups. So fast lunch and meet, and we'll go on from there. Thank you all so much for coming. Partners, stay and have lunch, at least. All right, thank you.